Hello there, this is Steve Can Cook. This is SteveTube original series, and this is our very first episode. I'm Steve, your host. This is titled, What Should You Do with Extra Bulk Meat? And I apologize in advance for the camera quality. This is a really old camera from back in like 2011, so bear with me on that. And I hope that you will stay with me throughout this, as this is our first video that we're doing. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare bulk hamburger for the freezer. As you can see, this is a Member's Mark ground beef. It's 73% lean, 27% fat, about 5.3/8 of a pound hamburger. So the tools you're going to need for this, you're going to need freezer bags. You can do quart or gallon size. I'm using gallon size for this demonstration. And a food scale. You can do manual or electronic. I'm doing a digital scale for this one. And don't forget some Saran Wrap, because you're going to wrap each pound individually, and that also will help prevent freezer burn as well. Now we'll go ahead and fire up our scale here, and when you turn it on your scale, if you're using manual scale, always make sure that it's set to 0. If it's set to any other length, it's going to throw your measurements off. And if you have a negative in there, I'll explain what to do about that in just a moment. But go ahead and set this piece of Saran Wrap on your scale. This is going to also help prevent you from having to clean your scale when you're done. This makes for easier cleanup, because then you'll have to sanitize your scale afterwards. But this prevents that. So then you put your meat on there and try to get it as close to a pound as you can. As you can see, we have it almost exactly at a pound. It's a little over a pound, but that's alright. 1 pound and a quarter of an ounce, so that's perfectly fine. And then you're just going to bunch up the Saran Wrap just like that and set it off to the side. So now we'll go back to what I was saying earlier. What would happen if your scale happened to be in the negative? Have a negative reading when you take something off of there, then that means that you had an object on there and you zeroed it out with your object on it. So sometimes, like they say, to put a bowl on there, you have to zero out the bowl so you can get an accurate measure of stuff you're putting in the bowl, because you don't want the weight of the bowl on there. That's just an example of that. And look at that, we got that right on a pound. Perfect. So we'll bunch that off and we'll set it off to the side. And these scales are really nice too. You can get, I think that one was like 20 bucks at Kohl's. I think it wasn't that expensive at all. So once you get all your meat weighed out, as you can see, we have a really small one there. I think it was about a quarter of a pound. You just set them all off to the side, and when we're done here, we'll just get them all ready to put in the freezer bags. Now for this demonstration, like I said, I'm using gallon size freezer bags. That's all I had. I prefer to use quart size, because quart size I can pull each one out individually, and since I have a smaller family than most people, it makes sense. But yeah, sometimes to stretch your budget, you got to use what you have on hand. So we'll go ahead and open up one of these bags, and for this demonstration we're going to put 2 of them in a bag. You can technically fit 3 of them in there if you want. I just stick with 2 because you can get most of your air out of there, because to prevent freezer burn, you got to try to get all the air out of your bag. So one thing we're going to feature on this show is we're going to have what's called chef's tips. So there are little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So as a chef's tip, make sure to get all the air out of the bag you can, and then once you seal the bag, then press them down like you see here, as flat as you can get it, and then make sure you get all the air out you can, because this is going to prevent freezer burn. At the same time, it's also going to allow you to store it in your freezer much easier and save space. And don't forget, as another chef's tip, don't forget to label and date your product that you put in there. It's very important that you know exactly what you have on hand. You don't exactly necessarily have to take an inventory on it, but you go to the freezer, can't think of what to have one night, you go to your freezer and you say, oh, okay, here's hamburger I put in here 4 months ago. So, and for this demonstration, go ahead and put that you have 2 pounds in the bag, because this is nice, because then people that pull it out of there know, okay, hey, there's 2 pounds of ground beef in here, and there's 2 pounds. And the nice thing is we Saran Wrapped each pound individually, so you don't have to cook all 2 pounds at once. You can pull one out and cook it and do whatever you want with it, really. And it is best that when you do pull this out of the freezer, use it within 3 days of cooking to prevent spoilage, because nothing I can't stand more than waste. Alright, that's it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the box below, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Also, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I hope you guys will stay with me as we go through these videos. Stay tuned for our next video coming up soon. It's going to be on location at Kroger's. We'll see you next time. Thanks.